Algebra 2 class. I left you hanging on these two problems in class from lesson 6. So let's do these last two problems, and I'll have videos for you for lessons 7 and 8, hopefully tomorrow. So example 4 was find 3 consecutive even integers such that 5 times the sum of the first and the third is 16 greater than 9 times the second. Now the thing you have to know with consecutive integer problems is you need to make a heading for yourself. And a lot of people like to skip the heading, but it's very important, and I want you all to put the heading for each problem that you do. So it's consecutive. This one specifically says even integers. So it would be like 2, 4, 6, 8. And you notice between 2 and 4, you would add 2 to 2 to get 4. And then if you want to get 2, 4, 6, you have to add 2 to 4 to get 6. So let's do our heading. Do these the same for every time you see a consecutive problem, you're going to do the same heading. So it's consecutive even, which means we're going to skip one. So we're going to have x equals, and this is your heading, equals the first. You don't have to write first consecutive integer or anything. Just write first. X plus 2 would equal the second. And there's 3, so you need x plus 4 equals the third. Now if you had consecutive odd, which I don't have an example using that, you would still do plus 2. The temptation for the odds is, if you're going to do a consecutive odd, you're going to do the same heading. It's going to be x plus 1, 2, oh, I almost did it, and x plus 4. The reason is if you're going from 1 to 3 to 5, you're still adding 2 each time. So don't do the temptation that I just did where you do odd, so you add 1. Even odd, you're going to add 2 to each one. So let's get rid of that mess over there. All right, let's finish up this problem here. So first thing you want to do is write your heading so that when you read along with the problem, you know which variables to use. So it says here, find 3 consecutive even integers such that 5 times the sum of the first and the third. So we're going to do 5 times the sum of the first, that's the first, it's just x, and the third, which is right here, the third, which is x plus 4. So because I have my heading, it's really easy for me to go down and say, here's the third, here's the first, and be able to put my problem together. Is 16 greater than 9 times the second? And you can see the second is x plus 2. And I always put the greater than on the end or the less than on the end. It's just a habit that I have. Because if it would have said 16 less than 9 times the second, remember we subtracted off the end instead of saying 16 minus the other part. So once you get this, then it's a really simple linear equation. So we're going to get 5 times 2x plus 4. And I'm just going to distribute this, 9x plus 18 plus 16. And I'll distribute the left side, so we get 10x plus 20 equals 9x plus 34. And then I'm going to subtract 9x from both sides. So we're going to get x equals, I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides, and I'm going to get 14. If you got an odd number, you pretty much did something wrong. So that's not the full answer. They wanted you to find 3 consecutive even integers. We only found 1 even integer, so I'm just going to go and write those down. So our answers would be 14. If we added 2, we're going to get 16. If we added 4 to 14 or 2 to 16, we're going to get 18. And so your answer is 14, 16, and 18. You need to have all 3 of the answers to get all the points when we have a test. All right, let's go down to the next one. This one says find 4 consecutive integers such that 5 times the sum of the first and the fourth is 1 greater than 8 times the third. Okay, same thing, you do your heading. So x equals the first, x plus 2 equals the second. I was wrong on that. It doesn't say even 4 consecutive integers. This one does not say even, so we're going to go in a row. So it would be like 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're just going to do x plus 1 is your second, x plus 2 is your third, and x plus 3 is your fourth. So because it says 4, you need to have 4 in your heading. So let's read along with the problem. Find 4 consecutive integers such that 5 times the sum, and now we need the first and the fourth. And because I have my heading, it's really easy. The first is x, and the fourth is x plus 3, is 1 more, so I'm going to put that at the end, 1 greater than 8 times the third, which is x plus 2, because I looked at my heading and it was really easy to see that right there it is. And it's 1 more. All right, now we just work it through. 5 times the quantity, remember we talked about that in class, 2x plus 3 equals 8 times the quantity x plus 2, so I'm going to distribute that through, 8x plus 16 plus 1, and we're going to get 10x plus 15 equals 8x plus 17. Subtract 8x from both sides. You'll notice that in Algebra 2, I'm not putting all the steps when we get down to the bottom of our equation. We can do that in our head, 8x from 10x. I've been putting it in your solutions though. 15 minus 17 is 2, and divide both sides by 2, and we get 1. So the first consecutive integer is 1, and we need to get 4 consecutive integers. So the first one is 1. We add 1 and we get 2. We add 1 and we get 3. And we add 1 and we get 4. So your answers are 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is it for the second half of lesson 6, and I'll have a video for 7 and 8 before you have to do them.